All right, let's go over number 16 on 9-4. So we got a parabola with vertex 5, 9, and a focus at 3, 9. And we have to write parametric equations. So there are a lot of ways to do the parametric part. So first, write the equation of the parabola. Then, to make it a parametric, all we're going to do is let x or y equal a parameter like t or sine of t or the square root of t, anything you want. And then plug that into the other equation, either y in terms of x or x in terms of y. So I'll show you. Oh. All right, so I'll sketch a picture here. We're dealing with quadrant 1. 5, 9 would be like somewhere around here. That's the vertex. And the focus is at 3, 9. So the parabola is always going to open up through the vertex in the direction of the focus. All right, so it's going to look like that. All right, which means it's a parabola where y is being squared. And so P is equal to 2. So it's going to be in this form where it's going to be x minus 5 and y minus 9 because of the vertex. Crap. And since so that's the vertex part. And since it's opening left or right, it's going to be y squared. And since it is opening to the left, our coefficient is going to be negative. All right. And our coefficient is going to be specifically 1 over 8 because p is equal to 2. And in our standard form of a parabola, this number is always 4 times p. And it's going to the left. So there's our negative sign. All right. And I feel like I might have put that on the wrong side. I feel like that should be a negative 8 because I'm squaring that. Let me think about that real quick. So if y, yeah, so it's always in this form. All right, if it's a left or right parabola. So I'm just thinking because I always forget whether I put the 1 over 4p with the squared part or with the non-squared part. And if it's 4p, I'm pretty certain it'd be on this side. If it's 1 over 4p, it should be on the squared side. But we could just double check that real quick. Like if look it up in your notes, or let's just graph this and see if it has those. Has that vertex and has that focus. So you're allowed to do this. You can use your graphic calculator. So let's double check that our parabola is right. We got x minus 5 equals divided by 1 over negative 8 times y minus 9 squared. All right, and then this looks right. Because we got a vertex here. And then if we graph our focus, which is at 3, 9, all right, we could see that our focal width is 8, meaning from the focus, if you go 4 units up, you got a point on your parabola, and if you go 4 units down, you got a point on your parabola. So 4p should always be the width at the focus. All right, and what I was confused about is that I wasn't sure if this was a 1/8 or a negative 8. So just if you're confused about that too, just double check it with a calculator. You'll have time to do that. All right, so this is the correct equation as a rectangular equation. All right, right here. So now to write it as a parabola, as parametric equations, all we have to do is isolate one of the variables. So what I'm going to do is take that equation and then just add 5 to both sides. Guys, in the future, if you have plastic, if you put it in this trash, I can recycle it. Don't worry about it if you already put it there. All right, I was trying to save the environment. Then add 5 to both sides. All right, so now we have x in terms of y. So all parametric equations means is we're going to take this 2-variable equation and write it with 3 variables. So x of t equals something, and y of t equals something. Now, sometimes you choose the parameter for x, sometimes you choose the parameter for y. If we have x in terms of y, it makes more sense to let y be the parameter because it's the least amount of work. So the simplest way to do this is just let y equal t, and then x is going to equal negative 1/8, and then we just substitute t in for y. All right, and then this would be an answer that would work. Now, but there are an infinite amount of ways to do it. Like this has to be like your equation in 2 variables, but with the parametric equations, it depends on like what you choose for this. Like if you wanted this to be like t plus 1, then you would just make that t plus 1. You can make this the sine of t, and then that would be the sine of t. And it wouldn't change the shape, but it would change like the orientation and like what points the parabola like gets graphed over. All right, so that would be how you do number 16. And let me pause the video.